Hey guys, it's Lauren Yates from Rave It Up here, and today I'm privileged to be with Allie Athanasio.
Hello.
How are you going?
I'm good, how are you?
Fantastic. Did I pronounce that right?
Nailed it.
I had to practice it in my head before I said it.
Perfect.
Well, welcome to Rave It Up. It's a
Thank you so
pleasure
much.
to have you on.
I'm so excited to
really
be
glad
here.
this was organised just so quickly. It was like, let's just do it.
Do
This-
it.
this
Straight
Friday.
in. Let's get it done.
And it's funny, for those who don't know, we've known each other for like about 2 years now or
Yeah, we
something.
have,
And we
indeed.
don't really know much about each other's careers.
That's it.
Yeah.
We're only just discovering it all now.
So, yeah, exactly. But we're going to have a nice long chat
gonna be
today
great.
and learn heaps. Just off air, she was learning more about Rave It Up. And
The whole lot.
now it's my turn to ask you
Learn
the questions.
all about me.
So before we talk about all your achievements, we'd love to start from the beginning.
Beautiful.
I know, yeah, bringing you back. Did you always think about being a model, or did you have other dreams and aspirations?
I definitely had other dreams and aspirations. No, modelling is a very new age thing for me. When I was young, I wanted to be an elite gymnast.
Okay.
So I did elite gymnastics for 11 years.
Wow.
I was lucky
Do you
enough.
still have those skills?
No. After like a wine, I might try a split or something. But that's about
But
it.
it won't go any further than that. All right.
No, so I did elite gymnastics from when I was 4.
Wow.
And yeah, did it for 11 years after that and got to travel Australia and
Fantastic.
compete a lot, which was great. And then I woke up one morning and said, Mum and Dad, I don't want to be a gymnast. And that was that. The dream was over.
Oh.
Yeah, no, like no regrets. Loved it. Left it in the past. But through that, I found dance. So I left gymnastics. I had a friend of mine from school ask if I wanted to go to a jazz class with her.
That's the best.
So
That's
I did.
how I started dance.
Yeah, exactly. So I did. I went to a local school and started dancing. Through there, found musical theatre, and then went on to do a degree in performance.
Jeez.
And then through that, decided I don't want to be in musical theatre, and found modelling through networking. So
Wow. What
it was
can't
a long
you
sort
do?
of it was a long journey to get there, but I'm happy that I've found a little niche in it. I enjoy it. I love it.
It was like reading a Star Now page, and it was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, so she's a model, an actor, an extra,
Got to be the
dancer.
quadruple threat these days.
Oh,
There's just
jeez.
nothing else you can't be. You got to
I
be
was
it.
just looking at it going, when does the list stop?
Stop.
Like, is there, sooner or later you're just going to be doing some other random.
Lots of random
Waking up
things.
one day and
I
going-
get bored easily, so I like to change it up
It's
a lot.
good. You only live one life.
That's
right?
exactly right.
You got to do a
Exactly
little bit
right.
of everything.
Exactly right.
But is there one that you like more than the others?
Yes, my end game is acting.
Yes.
That's the 5-year plan. So I love modelling. It has opened me up a lot as a person. I've become a lot more confident through it. So I have no issue in meeting people through the industry now, which I think was a big block for me a long time ago, whereas now I'm super open to the idea of networking and meeting people. So I'm slowly starting to find my way into my like comfortability with acting through meeting people I've met through modelling, which is really cool. So
Wow.
now that I'm meeting people who, you know, have these amazing connections and these awesome people I can talk to, I'm like, this is great. Like I've got all these things in my mind about where I want to be, and I can start to infiltrate them through, you know, meeting people and working with different people and collaborating and just vibing off people, which I just love.
And you're an amazing actor. I was watching
Aw,
the show
thank
reel, and I'm
you.
like, damn, girl, like.
It's getting there.
So that one that the warning came up going, you know, some coarse language in
Coarse
this one, and
language.
I'm like, okay, cool, I'm preprered. And I was like,
Coarse language.
don't mess with her.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't mess with me.
If you ever, for a guy ever cheats on her, no, he's gonna regret it.
Exactly.
F this, F that.
Amen.
Like, but it was so realistic. I'm like, if you were a pissed off girl, that's exactly
That's
how
exactly
you'd
what
react.
it would be. I was like, I'm just going to tap into that.
And
Tap into all
you
those
just did heaps of
times.
classes to.
Yeah, no, I have a really great acting coach. His name's John Samaha. He's fantastic. I got connected with him through my agency, and I also have another acting coach, Tony Bonner, which he's fabulous as well.
So you have two.
Yeah.
No wonder she's amazing.
Yeah, so Tony's daughter Chelsea actually owns our agency that
Wow.
I'm signed with. So Chelsea owns Bella Management. So Tony, her dad, she comes from a long line of amazing people. Her mum Nola was a model as well. So
as soon as you
got a
signed
really
up, you already had
creative
great
family.
contacts.
So I knew that it was going to be an awesome opportunity to meet amazing people and work with amazing people. So I've met some fabulous people, and I'm really happy. I love having male acting coaches as well. They offer a really different perspective on things
than females. Yes.
It's nice to have a fresh approach to things.
Never would have thought that, but there you go, learning something new. And you've obviously been in the industry for a while now. So during your time in the industry, what have you found the hardest thing?
The hardest thing, I, as everyone does in the beginning, suffered a lot. I didn't cope with rejection well.
Oh, yeah.
That was a big thing.
You take it personally. You're like,
you take it
they
so
don't like
personally in the beginning, and everyone's like, it's all right, you know, it's just another day. And you're like, yeah, but I really wanted that. Like, that was the hardest part in the beginning, was just teaching myself to not get my hopes up for things. And now I'm just a lot more relaxed in my approach to things. So much more relaxed. I know that when one door closes, another door opens. I've really come to start to infiltrate that in just everyday life. So I think that was the hardest thing for me to learn over the years, was just learning that sometimes, in 99% of the time, it's not personal. It's just,
they're looking for something
you're
different.
an inch too short.
Yeah.
And that's just that. And there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah.
So I've come to learn that that's the nature of the industry. But I think that's the excitement of the industry as well.
Ooh, the excitement
It's
too.
it's sort of like,
Love that positivity.
yeah, you know, it's kind of fun knowing that what you have one day, you might not have the next. So it sort of keeps you pushing for wanting to have something
appreciate
the
it more.
next. So you do. And when you do get something really big, it's like, wow. Like, that's the best feeling as well, is when you finally land something you've been waiting for, for so long.
And do you find the competition hard as well? Because heaps of people trying to be models now, and actors.
In the beginning, yes, but now that, you know, in the curve world as well, we don't have a huge industry for it over here. So pretty much everyone who works in the curve industry, we're all really close friends. So
good. It's like, good, you got that job, even though I
really wanted it. And like, you know, there's a couple of girls, we're like triplets, the three of us, and we always cast for the same things, but we've just sort of learnt to have the supportive nature behind it. It's just, you sort of have to be like that. You can't be any other way.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah, it is. So we've only got 2 major curve agencies in this, well, 3 now, major curve agencies in Australia. And so we attend so many events together, we shoot together all the time, so it's not just the girls from my agency, it's the girls from all the other agencies as well. We're all just good friends, and it's just nice knowing everyone. Like, it's not very often you rock up on set and don't know the person you're shooting with. Like, it's a nice community vibe that we have going.
And plus, you like them. You're not just going to turn up and go, ugh,
exactly. We all love each other, I promise.
Yeah. This isn't just all fake.
I promise.
Yeah. And in the beginning, was it hard to get used to being in front of cameras all the time? Whether it's acting or modeling? Because, I've been seeing a lot of underwear shoots. Stripping down to...
Yeah, it was in the beginning. I don't know. I've learned to become really comfortable with my body and everything over the years. So now I have no issue at all in stripping down for the camera. It doesn't bother me. Whereas, it took a little bit to get used to, but I think your photographers have a lot to do with it. Like,
when you
really
feel comfortable.
you're really comfortable with people, it's just completely different. Like, it's a totally different vibe in the room when you're just totally comfortable. So I'm really lucky. I've never had a bad experience with anything like that. So touch wood. Because so every photographer I've worked with has just made me feel comfortable, and it's just almost like normal. Like, it's so normal, and especially
like, you want me in my underwear?
No worries.
Right.
And exactly.
It's a normal Tuesday.
Exactly. And especially when you're shooting with other people as well, like, when you just all strip your robes down, that's just that.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is.
You're all in your underwear.
It doesn't bother me.
Doesn't bother you.
But yeah, no, it took a little bit of getting used to, but no, comfortability with everyone. Made it easy after a while. Super easy.
Really getting an insight into your life now. Have you had any embarrassing moments or major mistakes made during a shoot that you could share with us? Because we love our funny stories.
Major mistakes made. Far out. I've had
boobs slipping out of the bra or anything.
Oh, we've had plenty of that. We've had plenty of those. No, I'm a little bit of a goof, like a total goof on set. I love it. So whenever we're shooting and we go for like a camera roll where they take, we're going for 50 frames, just move around. My face gets uncomfortable after a little while. So like I'll smile or I'll do something and then I just have to like shake it out. So when you go through the camera roll, there's always like smile. Like just some hideous face made in the middle of it. Everyone gives me so much crap about it, but like I don't care. It's
like
fun.
my cheeks are soft.
Exactly. I've got to break it up somehow. And I dance a lot on set. There's always good music on. Like working with like Peter Alexander and stuff when they have like funky slippers and everything. I love it. I love their little like unicorn slippers that you can slip your feet into and just dance around in. I just love being a goof at all times. I do not take myself seriously at all.
I love that.
It's
fantastic.
I feel like it's the only mentality you can have in this industry. If you take yourself too seriously, it will never happen for you. So yeah, no, like not necessarily like a formidable, like stuck in my brain embarrassing moment. 95% of my moments are embarrassing on set.
But you love it.
Because I love it. Yep. And that's it. I don't care at all.
Yeah.
It's great.
Now, something I do really, really love about you is just how confident you are. And as they say, confidence is attractive, it's sexy.
Yes, it is.
Well, I think
it is.
99% of the people say that, right?
Yes, 100%. It is, indeed.
And you recently posted a photo on Instagram with the caption, I love this.
Yeah.
If you've got a body and a bikini, you've got a bikini body.
Amen. Literally, though. Like,
fantastic.
It's so true. It kills me in this day and age of people who shy away from it. And it's difficult because I can understand it because I've been there. I've understood the whole, I'm not wearing a bikini, no way, I'm not going to the beach in that. I've also understood, I was having a chat to a friend the other day about, she's like, oh my gosh, I was looking back on a photo of myself and like, I was looking at that and at that time, she's like, I thought I was like overweight then. And she's like, and then I look at myself now and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, oh my gosh, I don't care if you were 15 kilos lighter there, 15 kilos heavier there. It literally doesn't matter. Like, it comes from within and that's what comes out. That's literally it. So confidence is an inner thing. And so when you show confidence, it just radiates.
Yeah.
And yeah, so like when it comes to like beaches and bikini bodies, literally bikini body, simple. It
just
it just
combine
makes
the two
sense.
words.
And there's so many brands now that cater to literally every single type
body
of
shape,
woman or man, like regardless of gender. And you know, it's even down to things like different ethnicities and everything. You can literally find a swimsuit that will suit any skin tone, any size, any shape, any height, anything.
You just got to put the time aside to go shopping for it all.
Go shop for it. It's out there. You know, there's so many different brands now, so it's making it so much easier. And like, you know, yes, I wear a bikini. Will I wear a string bikini? Probably not. But there's bikinis out there that suit my body shape and that I think make my body look flattering.
Yeah.
And that's what I love to wear.
How long has it taken you to be so comfortable in your own skin, or is it, or have you always been like that?
I've always been a little bit comfortable, I won't lie. It's I'm definitely nowhere near as comfortable as I am now. But it's always been a thing for me. I come from a really supportive like family and household, and it's always been a real value in our family to just be comfortable in your own skin. So I think having it from a young age really made a difference, like a big difference. I've always, you know, been in the spotlight, if you will. I loved, you know, dancing around the house when I was young, putting on shows for all the family, you know, doing gymnastics. As much as it's a solo sport, it's a team sport, so you know, you're working with other people, but you're also working on your own individually as well. So that was always a big thing. You had to be super confident in yourself because you've got other people relying on you, you're relying on yourself. That was another thing. I always felt accountable for myself from a young age. So I think bringing that into my adult life, that's just the way I want to be. You know, I just want to put myself forward as the best version of myself, and I think the confident version is the best version of the person. Yeah. So why be any other way?
You've been raised really well.
I've got a great family.
Shout out to your parents.
Shout out to the fam.
Yeah. So I'm guessing every day when you were younger, they would always tell you how beautiful you are. And
yes. No, I come from a very, very loving, uplifting household. So we've just always had that vibe at home. Always. And,
Me
you know,
too.
it's just lovely.
is.
It's just a nice way to grow up. And it's not just my immediate family. Like, I've had that from my extended family as well.
Yeah.
You know, just a lot of support. I understand that this type of career is not necessarily an ideal career point for a lot of parents. It's a very up and down industry. You're employed one day, you're not the next. Like, it's not, unless you've, you know, until I make it really big, it's not an absolute guaranteed sure thing for an income and things like that. I can see how for a parent's perspective, it can be a bit like, oh, like, do we let her out of the nest while it's still like unsure type of thing? But my parents have just always been like, just go. Travel, experience it, do it, see the world, do what you want to do, be who you want to be. That's just the way I've always...
I love that.
Exactly, that's the way my
I'm
whole
going to meet
family
them.
is.
They sound amazing.
They're amazing. They're amazing.
That's great. And as you said, like earlier, I think with that sort of upbringing as well, it does help with the industry, with the rejection.
Definitely.
And you're like, oh, you know, I'm still beautiful. My parents love me.
My mum
It's
thinks
nothing
I'm
personal.
beautiful, and that's it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's honestly the way it is, though. Like, there's been so many times when I come home from a casting, and mum will look at me and she's like, "You really want it, don't you?" And I'm like, "Yes, I really want it." And then I'll get the call a couple of days later that it didn't happen, and mum's like, "You know what? Next one. Don't stress.
Exactly.
Next one."
It was meant
and I'm
to
like,
be.
you know what? And that's a classic line. What will be, will be.
Yes.
What will be, will be.
And everything happens for a reason. If you didn't get that,
something else is coming. And you know what? Parents are right, because 9 times out of 10, there is something around the corner. So
yeah.
just listen to your parents. I know what they're talking about all the time.
Yes,
all
I
the time.
fully agree with that.
Yeah.
And as I said, you do feature in a lot of underwear shoots, and you know it shows how confident you are to also post them on your Instagram.
Yes.
So I'm guessing that has, you know, I think just stripping down to your underwear, it's hard. In front of cameras.
It is. Look, it is confronting, but for me, it's just getting to the point now where I'm starting to enjoy seeing myself in underwear.
Oh, I love
which
that.
I never ever used to. Like, I used to put them on my Instagram because, you know, I was working with certain brands and they're great reputable brands and everything, and I'd love to have that type of exposure out there on social media. That was sort of my mindset behind it in the beginning, whereas now it's sort of getting to the point where I'm like, damn, I really like that photo. And that's why it's going on my social media. It's not going on my social media because I want to let everyone know that, hey, I got to work with this amazing brand. It's going on there because I'm like, damn,
I
like,
look
that
good.
looks good. Like, that's my angle. Like, I love looking at things like that. And so I'm like, put it out there. Feast your eyes. I love it. Like,
Feast your eyes. All the guys are loving it.
That's what I literally just have no shame in it anymore, because yeah, it comes from a completely different mindset now. Totally different mindset to what it used to.
Yeah, and it was great to see you post up a photo just recently, and not being ashamed of your cellulite. That is something.
Oh my gosh!
All women hate.
Literally every woman has it. Like, even like there's nothing I love more than when I'm flipping through social media and I'll come across like some amazing model that I've admired for years who shares a completely unretouched photo of themselves, and you're like, oh my goodness, I literally watch your fitness journey every single day online. I watch you like killing yourself at the gym for like hours a day. I don't know how they do it. It's just something that all women have.
Yes.
Like, you can't, like, a lot of the time, you cannot work it off. It just doesn't happen that way. Like, there will be somewhere on your body where it will come and go from. That's just life. And so I love it when, like, you know, these amazing, like, fitness models and everything show I'm a fitness model, but I have
it.
tiger marks and stretch marks and cellulite. It's just women. It's just the way our bodies are built. You know what? For a lot of the time, it's men as well.
Who would have thought?
Literally, a lot of men have it too. Like, it's a human body thing. And it's just, I think it just needs to become a bit of like normalcy. And I don't know why it's not.
It should be.
It should just be normalcy.
Because everybody has it.
Exactly. Yeah. Everyone has it. Like, it's just like everyone has eyes. Like, it's just literally, that's just the way it is. Like, you know, everyone has everyone has a face. Like, it's just literally another part of your body. It's like an extension of it. So, you know, and that's the harsh side of social media, is that the unrealistic side of it.
All the retouching and
exactly. You know, it's just, yeah, it looks great sometimes,
but
it's not real, like, at all. Like, it never is. And so I love the direction that social media is taking, and just even campaigns in general. Like, so many campaigns are going and opting for, you know, unretouched photos and stuff like that, which is just so positive, because I love seeing it. Like, it's raw and it's real and it's the way it should be and it's relatable.
Yeah, everybody should be doing that.
Exactly.
All the
like,
magazines.
relatable things are what make me want to go and purchase things, which ideally is what modeling is about. Modeling is modeling things for people to go and purchase them.
Yeah.
That's what modeling is. That's what the whole industry is based off. And so
I think we tend to forget that, though.
Exactly. And so now it's like, you know, when I see, you know, a lingerie campaign with real looking women in it that's completely unretouched, you know, from different shapes, sizes, ethnicities, heights, everything, there's someone in there that I can always relate to, and I'm like, that gives me an idea as to what that's going to look like on me.
On me, yeah.
Not, I'm never going to look like that because I don't have permanent, retouching on my body every day. Like, it's just not the way it works.
Yeah. I love how you're sharing positive body image
it's
to
so
women
important.
or even men.
And men as well. It is so important. Like, I'm lucky that I had it from a household perspective growing up. I'm very lucky that that's where it came from for me. But for a lot of people, you know, like when I was growing up, it wasn't a huge thing. Like body positivity is only just sort of coming to light through social media and everything, and, you know, just media in general. Over the last, you know, like less than a decade, it hasn't really been prevalent before that. So, you know, for me growing up, if I didn't have it from home, I probably would never have seen the body positive movement side of things any other way.
Yeah.
So I think it's important that, you know, it's just a word that's spread, and I think it's refreshing that it's deterring from it being a curve model thing to just being a human thing in general.
Yeah.
Because I think that was the thing. There was a lot of, you know, social media angst and upset, if you will, about, you know, backlash coming from curvier women towards, you know, women who are size zeros. Who cares?
Why are we calling it curvy models? It's exactly, just like, you're there everyday women.
That's it. That's it. And, you know, you've got people who are size zeros. Like my best friend, for example, is stick thin and eats more than I ever know, like than any person you'll ever meet in your life. I've never met someone who can pack it away like Charlotte can. But
and how is she?
She's a dancer, and that's just her metabolism. And that, like, honestly, when we travelled to Europe last year, like every hour,
she ate more than you.
Food. I was like, how do you? Where does it go? But that's just her body. Like, she doesn't work. It's not like she, you know, restricts herself to being that size or like that. That's literally just her makeup and the way she is. Like, that's just how her body works. And so now it's refreshing that body positivity is coming from all shapes and sizes, and not just a thing of, you know, women who are size 12 to 14 plus.
Yeah.
You know, it's coming from every aspect of, you know, women of every size, because that's just how our bodies are.
Yeah.
Some people have...
We're all different. We're not the same.
Exactly. Some people have smaller frames, and there is nothing wrong with that. Some people have bigger frames, and there is nothing wrong with that. If I go, you know, to Fashion Week and watch a fashion show, I am not intimidated, upset, nothing whatsoever if they have a size 0 model in the show. Good on her for wearing a Camilla bikini down the runway.
Yeah.
Well done. And, you know, to the girl who walks 5 girls after her who's a size 16, well done to her as well. Like, it's just a human thing. Bodies are different shapes and sizes.
There's the obviously total opposite side of the industry, though, where, you know, you've got really unhealthy models as well.
Exactly. And
have you ever disliked the industry for that very reason? That
I think that when it's being forced on someone to appear that way, that's when it becomes dangerous.
Yeah.
That's when it really becomes dangerous. Yeah. Is, you know, when there is a stigma surrounding, you know, a certain brand, for example, who will only work with models of a certain look, and that look is being pushed to a point where that person internally or externally is not healthy. That's when it's being pushed too far. That's not okay. Like that, yeah, the second it comes into harm for the individual, whether it's physically, mentally, however it comes, that's when I completely disagree with it. And that's on both ends of the spectrum. You know, that's with brands who enjoy working with women who can be potentially unhealthy from an overweight perspective and an underweight perspective. You know, if it's starting to harm your actual body or your mindset, that's when it can become really dangerous.
Yeah.
And that's when I really disagree with it. But for some women who, you know, that's just their makeup, then go nuts. If you're happy and you're healthy and you're loving life, who cares? Like, you know, it's just, it really just depends on so many different people, just the way they deal with it. Like, you know, I may be a size 16, but I have no health issues. I live a healthy, active, everyday life. I don't eat crap. I eat well. I'm active, you know, I go to the gym. I do what most normal women do.
She's just curvy.
That's just the way it is. And, you know, so for the, you know, the size 0 model who does the same thing as me, fantastic. For the, you know, the size, you know, 16 model who that could potentially be pushing into a point of any health issues, or the size 0 model where that's pushing into any health issues, that's when it's like, okay, you need to sit and rethink about what's going on. And I don't agree with brands supporting that side of the industry from both ends.
Too many aspects now, isn't there?
There is, yes, but yeah, look, it's a thing. I think it's becoming a thing of the past, very, very much so. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Yeah, beauty's changing every single day. You know, what was considered attractive, if you will, 50 years ago is a completely different, completely different thing to what's considered attractive now. And, through the decades of, you watch, major brands and who they choose to front campaigns, and it's just different. Like, what is considered to be super attractive each year just changes.
Yeah.
Every single year, we're going through different phases. Like, the eyebrows were a huge thing over the last, 2 years. Women with beautiful, big, bushy eyebrows were just the thing. Everyone wanted to work with them, and I was like, damn it.
It's like, I can't grow
what am I going to do with these? Like, they won't grow any bigger. Like, that's just what it was. And, now it's changing again. Now we're in a lip phase where,
lip phase.
Big lips, with Kylie Jenner is lip kits and all this, new phase of big lips. That's just the thing. Now we're in a phase of highlighting. Everyone wants beautiful highlighter on their cheeks. Like, literally every single year there's a new beauty trend. And it changes.
Well, don't change yourself.
Thank you. That's exactly it.
Don't be getting
Botox
in your lips or something.
I do not do needles, so I could think of nothing worse than anything in my face or any part of my body. I would not cope at all. But, there's... I love a little lip plumping lip gloss and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah, I'll sit there and afterwards...
It's not permanent.
9 times out of 10, I feel like it's doesn't look any different. But in the mirror, I'm like,
look at that.
Damn, Angelina. That's literally what I look like when I'm in the mirror. But that's the way. I think it's a mental thing for me.
We're getting the behind the scenes look of Allie
literally,
in the mirror.
I put it on.
Damn, girl.
I put it on and I'm like, they look 5 times the size. And I walk down and no one says anything. I'm like, guys, look at my lips.
Why are they commenting?
No one could even care less because they look no different. But that's just becoming a thing now. Not to mention, I love Kylie's lip kits. They're amazing.
Gosh, it's going to be so funny. The next time I'm going to be seeing you, I'll be just like, is she wearing the...
Is she got the lip plumper lip gloss?
God, your lips look amazing,
Stop
Allie.
it. I love it. But
everyone around us will be like,
what's going on? What's going on? But no, I could
some
definitely
weird
never
lesbian relationship going on.
That's exactly what this is.
I'm checking out her lips. Look at them. Now, you have over, and I cannot believe this, and I'm sure other people cannot as well, you have over 64,000 followers on Instagram.
I'm very lucky.
And you're such a role model for women everywhere.
Thank you.
Is that daunting? You're like, oh my God, I'm sending out a photo for 64,000 people.
It is a little bit, but I've sort of come to the point where it doesn't faze me as much anymore.
Good.
In the beginning, when my following started to grow, which was so flattering, I was so nervous about what to put out there because I was nervous about the reactions it would get. I obviously, if I'm going to put a photo of myself in lingerie on Instagram, I know it's probably going to pull more likes than a photo of me fully clothed at home versus lingerie on the beach or swimwear on the beach. I understand that that's the way social media works, but for me it was always, I was so intimidated by what people would say. I was so frightened of backlash. I was so scared of negative comments. So unless there was a retouch to the heavens photo of me, I would not put it on Instagram ever.
Isn't that interesting?
Exactly. Now look at me, where I just literally could not care less. I put it out there. If people like it, fantastic. If they don't, I don't care. It's staying on there because I like it.
So negative comments don't...
They really don't faze me.
Anymore.
I am very lucky in saying that I don't get many of them, which is fantastic, and I love that.
Keep it that way, people.
Keep it that way. Be nice. But when they do happen, 9 times out of 10, I really enjoy an open conversation with the person who has made a comment for whatever reason.
It's like, why do you feel like
that?
I
like to therapy them. No, I just like to know.
It doesn't show me, it shows you what's happening in your life.
I think in the beginning I sort of started to do it as a way to almost feel superior to them in a way, but now I've actually just genuinely started to enjoy knowing why. What is it about that photo that made you say that? And if that is the case, then why are you so offended by it? Why are you offended by my cellulite in that photo?
Oh, did you get a few
do you know what I mean? I'm like, who's it? I don't understand who's it harming. I don't get it. Do you know what I mean? So when they
just don't look at the photo.
Yeah, I'm like, there's a little you can just click unfollow. I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all. But if you enjoy my content, fantastic. If you don't, then that is totally fine with me as well. So chatting to people about it, it's so funny. I've had a few trolls over the years where I've actually come to a real mutual sort of, now we have a real good understanding about this type of thing. It's really weird, because you get a lot of private messages on Instagram. They don't necessarily go up on, comments on your photos. A lot of people will privately message you being like, that photo's disgusting. And I'm like, thank you so much. Like, that's really what I wanted to hear today. And I'm like, what's so disgusting about it? And then we'll have a chat about it. And then I'll give my opinion, they give their opinion. I'm like, sweet, have a great day, dude. And that's it, we move on. Like, I kind of enjoy that side of it. I hate, because it doesn't get to me, but if I don't sort of sort it out, it gets to me.
Yeah, you'll be thinking about it all day.
I think about it, going,
why
like,
don't they like it?
Why did that person say that? Like, how horrible. Like, that's literally how I sit and think.
You'd rather just ask straight up and find out.
And I'm like, okay, that's cool. And, you know, sometimes it doesn't end well. That's that.
Oh, well. Just
no worries.
You lose one follower.
You lose one. That's it.
Yeah.
And it does not bother me at all, because where one's lost, one's gained. And that's the philosophy you got to have with social media. But I love my little tribe on Instagram. I have a very supportive network, and I love that. And I think that's important. You know, I don't know what I would do if I didn't have a supportive network. They were the opposite. But no, they're great. I love interacting with them all.
Do they have like a fan name now?
No, maybe once we hit 100K. Maybe once we hit 100K, we'll come up with a little tribe name. But I love it. I don't know. Instagram's just a platform for whatever you want it to be a platform for. So why not make it a platform for something positive? Like,
absolutely,
it literally
does
not have to be negative. Like negative. Like, it's just, it's so like. I unfollowed pretty much every page I've ever followed on Facebook about 2 months ago, because so much of what used to pop up on my feed was just negativity. And so
notice that there's a lot of that on Facebook and positivity on
Instagram. So
interesting.
I don't know what it is about Facebook, and I think the thing was that I followed a lot of, you know, news platforms and everything as well. And
yeah, you don't see anything positive on there.
No, like I think it's important to know about, you know, world issues and everything. It's so important, but I will admit it really got me down. Where every single day, to find something that a friend of mine had posted on Facebook, I was filtering through so much junk just about crap going on in the world. You know, negative here, negative there, negative, all this type of stuff. And I was like, this is just having such a bad effect on just my everyday mental health. And I was like, so I get up every day, and I will admit I'm a social media person in the morning. I know you shouldn't do it before you get out of bed, but I do. It's how I wake myself up in the morning. Like, everyone's like, don't touch your phone till you've had a shower. I'm like, nah, I roll over and that's it. I'm on it for the day. And I check everything for about 15 minutes before I get out of bed. And one thing I do is I have the news app, and I love, you know, reading. I've got New York Times, Huffington Post on there. I love reading everything. But that's sort of where I leave it, because on there I can read what I choose to read, and what I don't.
You're not bombarded by it.
Exactly, I'm not just having stuff thrown in my face about things that I don't necessarily want to see on that day. I am a world news lover, on the other hand, a little bit contradictory. I do love knowing what's happening everywhere and being educated in it, to have, you know, conversations with people about it. I love that side of things, but I like to choose what I look at.
Yeah.
And I feel like my social media in a way was becoming really invasive on that. So I just got rid of it all.
That's great, girl.
And I went through Instagram, I did the exact same thing, and I was like, I just want to be looking at things that make me feel good, and things that I want to be looking at every day, and people that I want to be supporting. And, you know, Facebook for me is much more of a personal social media than Instagram is. So I want to be connecting with people that I connect with through my personal life. Like, that's
people that you actually know personally.
Yeah, that I actually know. So, you know, my close group of friends, people I work with, people I went to school with, like, that's who I want to see on Facebook, not the 17,000th shooting in 7 days in America. Like, that's not what I need to be looking at right now. I love going and reading about it when I'm ready in my own time.
You're already having a crap day. You don't want to be bombarded by all this other
It's just, it can be really, really confronting, social media. So, you know, I think, like, mental health wise, you've just, like, make it work for yourself. And that's how it works for me.
I love that. It's great advice for everybody.
Make it work for yourself, because if it doesn't, it can be so damaging on you.
So harmful.
Like, it can be so harmful. Like, your mindset can just take such a turn for the worse if you're looking at the wrong things each day.
And it's sad that in the news now, like, the only positive things that you're probably going to find is like, oh, you know, another polar bear was born.
Exactly. And it's sad
celebrity couple have gotten married, but that's it.
100%. And, like, I feel like that's a real sad thing in media these days, that, you know, even to a point like watching things like Sunrise and stuff like that, so often I just watch and I'm like, this is just so depressing. So depressing. Like, where's the happiness and the positivity gone and everything? But unfortunately, it is a reality that these things are happening. That these things are happening, and
we need to know about it.
We need to know about it, and it is sad. But I feel like being able to control when we find out about it is another thing.
Yeah.
You know, like when
the control we do have.
It's the control we have over things. Like, and so, you know, when I flip through and I see an article about something that I'm interested in, I'll put it aside and I'll read it, you know, when I'm having lunch that day. It may not be something I read then and there, but I'll look at it and I'll be like, that's something that I probably should be looking at. You know, that's something happening in the Middle East, for example, which I have a huge interest in. So I want to sit down and read about that.
And read about it when you're in a good
Exactly.
headspace.
Do I want to read about it 2 minutes after I've woken up? No. But I'll read about it when I'm having lunch today.
Yeah.
You know, just making it work for you because it's so confronting sometimes.
That's great. Love this.
Get social media wrapped around your finger. It's the best way to have it.
Yeah, instead of it
wrapping itself around their figure.
Yeah. You know what I mean.
You get it.
Now, I have noticed on Instagram as well, you take a lot of photos in front of, I guess, what it looks like your house.
Yes.
How come? Is that just your favorite spot?
I think it's just a lighting thing for me. My house
is damn, I look good.
Yeah, my house is really dark, so I've got a lot of windows and everything, but the actual interiors of my home are all like very dark greys and black. So there's not a lot inside my house, and then the back of my house doesn't get a lot of sun. So the front of my house, I just have like, it's a little bit neutral on the deck, like on the front deck, it's like, you know, a little bit of white, because my actual house is completely black. Like it's all really dark grey and black. So I have this one little spot on my front veranda that has a little bit of like glass and like a little bit of white and some green from the grass and the timber decking, and I'm like, and it gets really the sunlight, and I love it. So it's like my favorite spot. It's so funny. I had a friend who he wants to get into modeling, and he was like, oh, we should take some headshots out the front of your house. I was like, yes, we should.
That's when you know
yes,
it's good.
Should. That's when I know it's good. So
well, even at night with the light, it still looks great.
It looks great. I love it. No, it's my little like spot. It's funny because like when I like, you follow like so many different like models and influencers and actors and everything on Facebook and on Instagram, so many of them have a spot.
A spot, yeah.
A spot. So many of them have a returning spot that they just go to because it's great. Like I love it. It's my favorite
exactly
spot.
The same. Every single week when I go to my makeup and hairstylist's house, we always take a photo of, you know, the lovely look right at the end, and we always take it in front of a wall, in front of our house.
Exactly.
Because it's like the best lighting.
It is the best.
And now we just call it the spot.
The spot.
Let's take the photo in the spot.
In the spot. It's just everyone has one. If people would be lying to say that they don't.
They don't. Yes.
Everyone has one. It's like, you know where your best selfie light in your house is.
That is so true.
I don't care what women or men say, everyone loves a selfie.
Yeah.
Everyone does it.
Even in our family, like just around the corner there on the wall.
Exactly.
It's great lighting.
The best lighting.
It's good background.
It's neutral background.
That's
neutral
the key.
Neutral background is key.
It's always the spot.
Exactly.
Now, you have recently done shoots for Peter Alexander, as you mentioned before, and the Iconic as well.
Yes.
But what has been like your all-time favourite shoot?
My all-time favourite shoot was shooting the Burley 100 Years of Women campaign.
Oh,
that is my favourite shoot I have ever done. That was the most empowering day of my entire life. Not even just like my career life, like my life just to date.
That's a big statement.
Yeah, it was just... Oh my goodness, it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Beck Parsons shot it. She is just phenomenal. She is an amazing photographer, and she did the entire casting process herself, which is so unique. You never get to cast with your photographer. So when I went into Burley's office to meet the team, it was just Beck. And I had no idea that she was the photographer at all. She didn't tell me. So we had a really great chat about travel, and she took a few photos of me in my underwear. Like, it was great. And then I left, and then I rocked up on, like, I got the job, and I arrived on set, and, you know, you get a list of, you know, everyone working that day with contact numbers in case you get lost. And I saw Beck Parsons written on the thing as I walked in, and I was like, is she shooting this? I was like, are you the photographer?
Yeah.
She's like, hell yeah, I'm the photographer. I was like, this is so unique. This is awesome. So every single person on that shoot that day, she had individually handpicked for a reason, and it was just so amazing. And we had this massive vision board, and she'd, you know, just pinned all these pictures and quotes and everything. And before we started, she sat behind the camera, and we were all in position because we had all these stools and everything that we were sitting on, and we were all in our underwear. And she sat behind the camera, and she looked at us all, and she went, "You are beautiful and you are empowering. Let's do this shit." And then we started, and it was just the best like 2 seconds of my life, and all of us just like flicked into this like powerful woman mode, and we got the most incredible photo. And it literally just documents every type of person, every type of woman. It was amazing. It was the best day I've ever had on set, and the photo was unreal.
And it comes back to confidence is
That's
sexy.
exactly
as soon
right,
as she said
you know?
that, you were like, yeah.
And like it's just the way it is. And you know, we had a videographer that day, so there's so many like cute little behind the scenes videos of us just being us, and
You being silly.
Just us being silly and dancing around to music and everything, and it was just so much fun. And like it was everything about that shoot. It was the hair and makeup team. Like we just had super natural hair and makeup. So hair and makeup took like 5 minutes. So we were in and out, but even in that in and out moment, we like the teams were just awesome. So like the hair and makeup team, that you just connected with them so well. And then when we were down on set, everyone was down there. Catering were down there watching it. Like everyone was down there watching the photo being taken, and it was just unreal. You know, we had everything. Like, you know, we had a beautiful pregnant woman in there who was 8 months pregnant when the photo was taken.
Wow.
Like, you know, we had like Sharifa, who's like this beautiful like her hair, I want her fro so badly. You know, she's this beautiful like black big fro, like amazing English woman who's just incredible. Like she was right smack bang in the middle, and she's so like present in the photo. It's amazing. And then, you know, you've got Jen in there who's, you know, just representing, you know, she's French, and you know, she's got the French side and everything, and then her mum's dark, so you know, you've got everything. Like every aspect of it is taken care of. Jax is like blonde and a total beach babe. Then you got someone like me who's blonde and a beach babe in my own right. And like, you know, you've got everyone in there. Was just, you know, we were all different ages, all different ethnicities, all different backgrounds, and it was best shoot I've ever done, hands down.
Okay, I gotta go look at this one.
Career highlight.
Jeez.
Yep.
And that's a big statement, so
Big
everyone
statement.
go check that out.
Yeah, do it for sure.
Yeah.
Amazing shoot.
And as you've obviously already figured out, I'd done a lot of research on your Instagram, because you know that's your main platform.
That is,
incredible
yes.
photos. And I love one of my favorite quotes recently that you did write down was "Happy minds equal happy lives." And I wanted to know, are you someone that, you know, includes meditation and mindfulness practices in your everyday life?
Yes, now I am. So I never ever used
in
to
like the
be.
last week.
literally since January. So I went on an amazing retreat to Byron Bay in January with a company called Global Transformation Experiences, and they are insanely good. So I have a friend, Zach, who introduced me to this whole world of wellness and mindfulness that I was so not involved in prior to this. Like, not that I was against it, it's just never been me. Never been me. You know, my mum is super into yoga and meditation and everything, and I've just always been like, oh, for goodness sakes, like, come on,
What are you doing?
What are you doing? Like, that's just the way I've always been with it.
Wasting time.
So Zach just asked me to jump into this experience in January, and I was like, oh, whatever. So we road tripped up. What have I got to lose? So we road tripped up to Byron together, and we just had the best few days with the most unbelievable group of people up there. Chris and Brock, who run these transformations, are just amazing people. They both have very different approaches to things. Chris is very practical on like career and goal orientations, and Brock is more like, we call him like the whimsical side of things. He's like energy healing and meditation and stuff. And so I didn't know if I'd connect with him because I didn't think I had anything in common. And if anything, I connected with him more than anyone else on the whole trip. And both of them just opened my eyes to this world of it's literally just taking time for yourself. That's what the whole practice is about. It's about taking time for yourself and no one else. So now, yes, I do yoga a few times a week.
Good.
I do every day before I as soon as I get out of bed, I do some form of fitness just to get myself moving. Like 5 minutes of just something. I did a burpee challenge, which murdered me. I'll probably never do it again. But now I'm doing like push-ups and squats each morning, which is just fun. And I get up and I do that, and then I meditate for 10 minutes.
Good.
And it's fabulous, and it has changed my mindset about things so much.
Yep.
So much. I've never understood. I never understood it. That was the problem. Like, I'd always have people tell me, you should meditate, you should do this, but I've never understood why.
And why it's important.
Exactly, and like why it's important for me specifically. And I think that's one thing I got out of doing Byron, was just understanding why it works for my mentality personally. You know, because meditation's different for every single person. Like, every single person will meditate in a different way. I use Headspace, the app on my phone, to do it. So that's great. Some people, you know, I would love to get to a point one day where I don't need to use anything. Like, that's the real powerful meditation, is when you can meditate on your own and like not have to listen.
You can get to the point where you can do either. Like,
exactly.
just depending how you feel, you could use it out.
Yeah, I just
do
love
your own
it.
thing.
So I kill myself in my workout for only 5 minutes in the morning, and then I'll do something later on in the day.
Can't do anymore.
No, just 5 minutes, trust me. And then meditation is almost like my little reward to myself. And I'll just lie on the floor or lie in bed or lie wherever and close my eyes and just drift off, and it's great.
So you found it really important now. You
now
found the
I
importance
do.
in it.
I understand it now. I never ever understood. I never understood it. And I never thought I could do it either. Like, I was always that person in yoga at the end who would be like, when they tell you to close your eyes, I'd be like, looking around. It's like,
not everyone has their eyes
literally,
closed.
I was that person. I could never ever just chill and take my mind off things. I never knew how to relax. That was the problem. And meditating has taught me how to just chill out. Just take a step back. Be with yourself, be with your own thoughts, and I think it's really important.
And center yourself.
Yeah.
That's something I find really important.
Definitely. And like just centering and reflecting on things, like reflecting on, you know, the morning that's been so far, the day that's coming, the week that's been, the week that's coming, like all of those things, because it just puts things into perspective. I used to freak out a lot over things. Like,
Me too. I used to stress so
I used
easily.
to stress. Like, I'd have 2 things to do that day, and I'd be like, "Oh my god, I've got 2 things to do today." Like,
oh my god,
I've got to go from here to here. Now I'm like, I have 200 things to do today, and it's totally manageable.
Yeah,
just
like,
because,
calm.
like, I do diary and keep a journal, so I do have a diary.
You write it all out.
Yeah, I write it out. Like, I love that you can do it on the calendar and the iPhone, but it just doesn't work for me. I have to write it, and checking the calendar's not natural for me. Like. So I have a diary that I keep in my handbag, which has all my appointments and everything in it. So I schedule, and so I meditate and I schedule, and that just works.
I love that.
That means I get everything done, because I hate not getting things done.
Yeah, me too.
I hate not getting things done.
It's like, oh, I wasn't as productive today as I could have been.
So I just and I'm a list person. List it out, tick it off.
And obviously a very visual person, because you're writing it out and you want to look at it.
Super visual.
That's great.
100%. Always been a visual learner.
I think most of us in the creative industry are that.
I've always said that I believe that the HSC should have been like 50% written and 50% oral, because I would have nailed it.
Yeah, me too.
Like, I did pretty well, but like I would have got like 120% if I could have spoken about everything I had to write. So I learned differently like that. Yeah. I'm a visual learner.
That's something that I think they need to figure out with the
They
HSC.
do need to figure that out. Just
plus,
let me talk about it instead. It's so much easier.
Yeah. Plus,
my hand cramps when I write too much. Like, it's too hard. Way too hard.
Yeah, time restraint as well. And,
exactly.
Plus, I think having one exam to dictate the rest of your life is a little stupid.
It's just a lot of stress. But it's so funny, like, looking back, like, well, I've been out of school 7 years this year. I look back and I'm like, oh my goodness. It was such a minuscule, tiny little thing.
I was thinking about that the other day too.
No relevance to anything in my current life. Like, literally nothing.
Plus, there's so many moments in your life you're like, God, I wish I was back at school. It was like,
I know. I look
so
back,
much easier.
Exactly. I'm like, and I loved school life. I loved going to school, and I loved the people at school, and I had an awesome teacher base, and my school was fabulous. I look back and I'm like, damn, those were the days. Like, I was just hanging out with everyone and like going to
appreciate it at the time.
I never ever appreciated it. I still run into so many of my teachers, and I'm like, damn, what I would give to just come and hang out with you on a Wednesday afternoon again.
Yeah.
In ancient history, like just chilling with you, like having fun learning. Like, those were the absolute days. But you know, it is I'll never ever forget this though. We went on a school camp. I think it was our year 12 school camp, and we had a motivational speaker come and talk to us. He was amazing, and I've actually always wanted to look him up because he was brilliant. And he came, and I'll never ever forget, he told us, like, you know how your parents always say, oh, you know, school's the best years of your life. And it was just such a fresh perspective on it. He turned and he was in the microphone, he was like, if school's the best years of your life, that's a pretty damn shitty life you've led. Yeah. And I looked at it and I was like, that is so true. And I look back and I'm like, they were the days and I loved it.
But not the best
days at all. At all. And so, you know, for people who, you know, it's such a common thing, like, these are the best years of your life. Like, don't let them, like, you know, appreciate every day you're at school. And I'm like, yeah, look, they are great days, but I 100% do not want them to be the best days.
No.
So it's like making every day just a little bit better than that. It's an accomplishment.
At least now as well, you get to learn what you want to learn.
Exactly.
You never stop learning.
You've got just freedom in what choices and what you want to do.
Yeah.
You don't have to wear a uniform.
Like, I love going to seminars and those sort of things. And then that way, oh my God, I focused so much more than I did in school.
Yeah, that's true. I will admit there were so many times where like it was so funny. My good friend from school, Geordie, like bless, we had English together, and we just used to be so tired in English that we literally sit there and just.
That was me, no offense, in modern history.
Literally, but I'd get like a 9 out of 20 for an exam, and she'd get a 20 out of 20, and I'd be like, "What is going on? How do you sleep in English for like 80% of the year and then nail this? Like, I don't get what's going on."
She's secretly studying.
She's secretly studying. Yeah. But that's it. But like, that's just the way we were. Like, there were so many times where I was just like, "This is just so not me." At all, and like maths is just not my thing.
Now you found what your
now
thing
I
is.
found my thing, and it's just funny when you come out of school. Exactly, when you come out of school and all of a sudden, or even just watching people, like, you know, the way universities like degrees have changed for people over the years. Like literally, everyone from my group who I went to school with, what we wanted to do when we left school, none of us are doing now.
Isn't that interesting?
Not a single one of us. We've all done something different to when we left school. And it's amazing the sort of path you take when you have a little bit of freedom of creativity and freedom of your own mind.
Yeah, you can try it out.
Yeah,
figure out if you like it.
You know, where that takes you after that, because that's the exciting part. That's the exciting part.
It's good. I love that you've tried all different things, and then
you know what? And I'll probably try 100 things more before I die. Like, yeah. I'm that person. Like,
you're still young.
Literally, when I finally go to the grave, I'm going to be the person who has been a CEO of a business, and I've started a movie, and I've owned a home, and I've done all these different things. Like, that is just me, because I just get bored. Very easily.
And then when you're on your deathbed and you look back, you go,
I'll be like, damn, I have done everything.
Days.
Like, I have done everything I wanted to do. Like, that's the exciting part. And I feel like that's how I relate to a lot of people as well. Like, as much as I love the creative industry, and I will always be in the creative industry, and it will always be my forte, I love knowing about other workplace industries and everything, and, you know, being able to relate to people. Like, you know, I bow down at the knees of anyone who could ever be a nurse, because I could not. I do not have a good bedside manner.
Yeah.
And I don't have a lot of sympathy either. So, you know, for me, it's like I just could never do a job like that. I've got 3 friends who have finished their nursing degrees and are full-time nurses. And we just have the best chats because I have a genuine interest in their industry. And I'm like, you know what? I would actually love to be a nurse for a day and see what it's like.
See what it's
and
like.
Who knows? Maybe one day I'll do it. Maybe one day I'll go and do a nursing degree. Like, who knows? Like, that's just literally the way my philosophy and the way I live life is. Just today is today, and who knows what tomorrow will be.
Just cross things off your bucket list.
I've got a very big bucket list.
Yeah, me too.
It's probably too big of a bucket list.
It started off as like what they call the 100 list. It is not a 100 list
anymore,
now.
That's the best. It's
probably like 300 now.
That's awesome though. 300. Look at that.
Exactly. It really is a bucket list.
100%.
Now, speaking of the future, and let's not think about all the way to the grave, because that's a long way away. But what else can we expect from you in the future? I see that you're going to Europe again. Is it this year?
I am, yes. Yeah. So I've got a bit of travel planned this year, which is exciting.
Good. So go out there, experience
I love
the
to
world.
travel. Honestly, travel is the reason why I am so clear in what I want to do in life. Like, travel did it for me 100%. It was getting out, it was meeting people, it was being away from home. That was a big thing. Taking myself out of my comfort zone. I was like, yes, and I just got all this clarity when I was traveling.
You travel by yourself too, because that's
so I did a little. So when I was away last year, I did Europe with my best friend. I did India with my mum, and then I did Nepal entirely on my own.
Wow.
And I'd never traveled by myself. So I was lucky enough when I was in school, I went to Europe with my school to do an ancient modern history trip, which was amazing. My grandparents live in the south of France, so I've been over there to visit them when I was younger. My mum, you know, took my brother and I to the US when I finished school. Like, I was really fortunate to have traveled quite a lot, but this was my first time I'd ever been entirely on my own, and it was the best thing I have ever done in my entire life.
I love traveling by myself.
Ever. I honestly, like, I never wanted to, like, no, I will travel with other people. Yeah. Like, but I would rather.
Sorry, best friend.
Sorry, everyone. No more Charlotte. No, I will always, whenever I travel with someone else, I'll always take time to travel on my own.
Yes.
In that one trip. I just think it's so important. I pushed myself out of my comfort zone more than I would have ever done had I been with someone else. And I met the most amazing people, and I'm actually traveling with the people I met this year.
Wow.
That I met on my trip last year. So
that shows.
So yeah, when I did base camp last year, I had just the best group of people. Like, none of us had ever like trekked anything like that before, And I was like, we've thrown ourselves in the deep end. Like, this is Everest. Like, this is happening.
Yeah.
And, you know, we were all from all over the world. We were all solo travelers. And we just clicked and vibed off to each other because of that. So when I go to the US this year, I'm actually meeting up with Crystal in Washington. We're going to New York, picking up Constanza, and we're doing the US together. So, like, that's super exciting. So there's 3 of us that'll get to go around and do that. So yeah, I'm going to the US for a couple of months, which is exciting. So I'm agency touring over there. If anyone would like to sign me.
Good luck.
Yeah, so that's really exciting. So main cities, I'm doing LA, Florida, and then I'll head up to New York for a little bit. So I'll probably take about 2.5, 3 months around there.
So that means you'll have like an agency overseas as well as
so
here.
that's the plan.
More opportunities.
Exactly, so that's the plan. Like, ideally, I'd like to be set up like securely in Australia, the US, and somewhere in Europe. And then I can sort of fluctuate between jobs. And like, I've always said that any job that allows me to travel is a job for me. So I think that it keeps me really interested in things because I love experiencing new places and I love experiencing new cultures. Until that girl did it a few years ago, I wanted to be the first person under 25 to have been to every country in the world. And that girl did it like 3 years ago. I was like, damn it.
Could have been me.
Could have been me. But like, now I'm like, no, I want to be the first. I'm going to make a first for myself somehow. I'm going to be the first something to have been to every country in the world because that's seriously like a huge goal of mine in life. I just want to experience it all. I want to go everywhere. And yeah, so I'll start in the US and I'll make it a bit of a holiday, you know.
Good.
Bit of work, bit of play. I've got so many people I know over there, so it'll be so much fun catching up with everyone. And then I'm heading over to Europe. So going to Europe, doing the same thing over there. And travel through. I've got, like major agencies we've got are in London. There's a few in Germany. There's one in Spain. So get to travel through there, catch up with my grandparents, and then I'm going to Africa at the end of the year.
Oh my goodness.
So I can't wait for that. I'm just going to do something, I just thought I'll do something totally random, totally different. So I'm going to go and climb Kilimanjaro, which I have actually had to start training for because I did not train for Everest Base Camp and it killed me. So I promised myself I'd train for Kili. And then I'm just going to spend 6 weeks traveling through Africa. So if anyone has any recommendations, please let me know because I'm so stuck.
Are you doing that by yourself too?
I am, yeah. So I'll probably go with a travel group of some form. But yeah, like there are parts. Mum's freaking out because Mum and Dad are freaking out. I will be in Egypt and Morocco by myself, but I'm a smart traveler.
Okay, good.
So it's okay. I feel like as long as you're smart and you just have street sense, you're fine. Just chill. I'll be fine.
You must have a lot of savings if you're doing that much traveling.
Yes, I'm an avid saver.
Good for you.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm so good at saving, but I just, like it's interesting. I look back over like I got my first job when I was 13. Wow. And I'm about to turn 24. So I've been working for 11 years, and I've just always had this thing where I like save. But then I look back over the last 11 years and I'm like, I haven't missed out on anything either. Like, I've done everything. I've always said yes to every opportunity that's come my way. Like, I've been able to travel. I've been able to go away with friends and go out and everything. Like, I think it's just the important balance of it. Like, I'm not a super avid saver in the fact that I'm like, no, I can't come out for dinner tonight. I'm saving. I've got to save. I'm nothing like that. But I just think like before I left to go away last year, before I left, I told everyone that I was just going to have this huge mental mindset the whole time I was away of not caring about money. I was like, I'm just not going to care about it. I'm literally not even going to care. I'm going to spend every cent I want to spend for no other reason than I want to spend it. So, in Europe, like I look back on the experience Charlotte and I had in Europe of eating at these incredible places. That's literally all we spent our money on was food, food and wine. But I look back and I'm like, damn, we have literally eaten at some of the most incredible places in the world. And who cares?
And you're not broke.
And I'm not broke. And I had that, I've got that
such
awesome memory now. And I did the same thing in India with my mum. And I did the same thing in Nepal. And then I came back and I booked 6 major campaigns in the first 2 months that I came home.
Wow. So top it all back up
and
again.
So then going to this retreat, it's just like a never-ending circle. So then going back to like this retreat in Byron, and being just like told about just like different energies and like the energy you put out is what you receive. I'm like, oh my gosh, and it's never clicked with me before. And I'm like I told them this. I was like, I went away and I just thought I'm not going to care about money and I don't want to think about it and I don't want to be like, no, I'm going to have to eat bread and butter sandwiches today. Like I didn't want to think about that. I just wanted to spend. And then it's like the universe just repaid me for having that mindset. literally within a couple of weeks of me being home.
So we should all have that mindset.
Everyone, honestly, like just relax about it. And I've never ever understood it. And then, you know, I had an incredible financial opportunity present itself in buying a house to renovate. Like, I had all of these financial opportunities just popping up left, right, and center that I could barely even keep up with them. And so now I've just started to adopt this sense that no, I will walk past this store. Like, I'm not an unnecessary spender. I won't buy things just for the sake of buying them. But, you know, these shoes, for example, I walked past and I was like, you know what? I really like them. And I have no shame in spending the $40 I'm going to spend on them. And I wear them every single day. So I've 100% got my monies out of it. Whereas, you know, a few years ago I would have been like, no, excuse me, I can't afford that. I don't want to spend that. Like, $40
Is it can't afford it or just...
It's just...
Don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want to afford it. That's it. That's literally all it was. And so... yeah, I've just totally relaxed into the mindset of whatever. Like, that's it. And that's where experience comes from.
Yeah.
And I say yes to everything now.
Wow.
Which I never used to do either.
You have an incredible future ahead of you. I can just...
Thank you. It's going to be a fun future. It's going to be a fun future. I'm excited.
So everyone follow her on Instagram. And I want to see all the amazing images.
Fingers crossed. My mum takes all my photos, so... I've taught her well.
Okay, so they're not like blurry photos or something?
No, she used to be, oh my gosh, like when we went to America, like we were at Disneyland and there was this huge line to get a photo with Aladdin. And we finally got to the front and for like, I'm not kidding, Mum had taken about what she thought was like 50 photos. The camera wasn't on. And so we stepped away from Aladdin. I'm like, let me see the photos. And I was like, Mum, what are you doing? Aladdin, I'm sorry, we need another photo. The camera wasn't on. Like, that's my mum for you. And so like now... like, my favourite photo of all time is my photo in front of the Taj Mahal, and my mum took it. And everyone,
your Facebook profile for a while.
Everyone goes on about how amazing of a photo it is, and I'm like, yep, that's my mum. That's her now.
So
now she gets it. Now she gets it. She's my boyfriend of Instagram.
It's great. Instagram.
She's my Insta boyfriend. I love it. It's the best.
I love that. That's
you should
hilarious.
follow that. Have you seen that page?
No.
Oh my good, you follow boyfriends of Instagram on. It's hilarious.
Okay,
it's people taking photos of boyfriends taking photos of their girlfriends for Instagram, and the positions that these poor men put themselves in to get these photos. That's true dedication.
True dedication. And now your mum's doing it.
And now mum is my boyfriend of Instagram.
She'll
lay down on the ground to get an angle. She'll do it all.
That's great.
She's great.
I got to teach my parents now.
Yeah, she's great. Yeah, you know, they've got it. It's in there somewhere. You just got to pull it out.
Now, Allie, we are unfortunately getting to the end of the interview. It's been a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
I know. I've learned so much.
Likewise.
You've made me rethink some things in my life. Now, but as a closing statement, and was probably the most important question.
Yep.
Knowing what you know now, what would you tell your 14-year-old self?
My 14-year-old self. My 14-year-old self. I would tell my 14-year-old self to wake up every day and not have a care in the world about anyone but themselves for at least the first couple of minutes they're awake. And when I was 14, I used to wake up every day concerned about how I was going to wear my hair to school for the purpose of what everyone else would think about me.
I did that too.
Yeah, so I think the biggest advice I'd give myself is to not have a care in the world about anyone else in the sense of what they think of you, how they perceive you, or anything for at least your opening morning, just for when you wake up. Just have a moment of not having a care in the world about anyone else but yourself. Take that moment for yourself and then carry that throughout the day. Of just not caring what anyone has to say or what anyone has to think, because my biggest life lesson is that everyone else's opinions mean nothing.
Yeah.
Literally
only yours does.
My opinion of myself means more than anyone else's does.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest advice to my 14-year-old self, is to just not care about what anyone thinks.
And that is the start of your epic confidence.
That's
that
it.
Everyone
that's
loves.
Where it started. That's literally where it started, was just dropping that care factor and working in an industry where you're judged based on something like your appearance can be hard. So I think adopting that has just made me just live and learn with it.
And 14 is like the perfect age to probably do that.
It is.
You just started being a teenager.
It is, and this is why I'm so passionate about the social media game, is just because, you know, the ages of social media are just getting younger and younger and younger and younger. Like I've got, people, I used to dance teach, and I've got students who are, 10, 11 years old who have Instagram and Facebook and who do follow me and do see things that I put up. And so that's why, you know, I've never ever wanted the raunch factor to my page, to my social pages, even though there are underwear shoots and everything. I love coming at it from it's not weird, it's normal. Like, it's normal for, you know, a man to walk around with his top off. I don't see why there's any issue for me walking around with a bra on, and a bra is exactly the same as if I was in a bikini top and down at the beach. Like, that's beach culture. Like, that's the way my mind works with it. So I think putting things out there for the younger generation to look at, it just needs to come from a positive, empowering place, because it is so easy to sway the minds of young people, men and women. It's good. So easy to sway their minds. So sway them good, not bad.
Sway them good.
Sway them good. 100%.
I'm really glad you're doing that.
Yeah, like, we're breeding the next generation here. Like, that's what's happening. And absolutely. You know, I fear for what would happen if we bred a generation of, you know, negative people who were, you know, just took everyone's opinions to heart, and like, it would just not be. It's just not formidable. Like, you know, just empower these people, because through empowering young people, that's how they're going to grow up to then empower the next generation and the next generation and the next generation. And that's just the exciting part about it. Like, you know, being like, you know, just a little bit above the millennial era, like, it's, you know, it's like watching all this stuff that's going down with, you know, the shootings in America, and, you know, these kids that have chosen to be the faces of this huge campaign against gun violence. That's the type of people we want to be breeding. Like, these confident people who have their own opinions but know how to deliver them in a super positive and empowering way, not a negative way. Yeah. Because that's when that's the conflicting sort of line is, please be opinionated by all means. Have your own opinions, form your own opinions, say your own opinions. Just know how to say them.
Otherwise, we don't want to be like looking at our grandkids and they're not confident at all. Exactly. And it's like, oh, that's not what I wanted.
Exactly. Like, I want grandkids who will be going out there and, you know, being the faces of things and, you know, putting their 2 cents worth into the world for the better of it. Like, that's literally what we're here to do as people, is we're, you know, bettering ourselves, bettering everyone around us, and better, in that sense, bettering the extension of that, which is everyone else in the world. So
yeah, and leaving behind a beautiful world.
Leave the legacy, like, make it, you know, when your time's coming to an end, you know, look back and be like, damn, yeah, I did some cool stuff and I've made some awesome changes and I've impacted people. Like, that's literally left a legacy behind. Like, you know, I look at people who have passed away over the years that I knew, and I love looking back on that and being like, you know, we're like people, like, you know, even in family, you know, we're still talking about like little one-liners that these people had, and I'm like, that's their legacy. That's their legacy. Like, we're still here talking about it, you know, 10 years on, and like, that's a cool legacy to leave, regardless of what it is.
You're bettering the world, leaving a legacy.
Yeah, that's it, and everyone else should too.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I had so much fun.
It's been a good, fun girl chat.
I love it. I love it.
As soon as she sat down, she's like, God, this is comfortable.
Oh, it's such a comfortable couch. I was like, don't fall asleep.
No, don't. So comfy. Definitely don't fall asleep. That would be very awkward. Wakey. Yeah. But we'd love to have you on again in the future.
Yes,
welcome on
please.
Anytime you like.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
It was awesome.
But for everyone watching, make sure to follow Allie on Instagram. She's, as we've talked about, amazing photos to check out. And really take what she's said today on board. I really hope it changes your life. But for now, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time, guys. Bye.